But as promised, we're going to dive into the questions. The first thing we wanted to do was have Charlie and OCL address something that came up last time. And I think that will probably come up again this time. And that's just, how are you both able to communicate so quickly with your technology? And we will start with you, Charlie, and then we'll go to you, OCL.
How did I communicate so quickly on the last webinar? Well, the answer is that I cheated. I had the registration questions beforehand, so I could answer the questions for the presentation. I answered the questions using Microsoft Word, copied my answers to my text-to-speech program, and assigned 3-letter shortcuts to speak the answers. So, when asked a question, I type 3 letters to speak the answer. I also use keyboard shortcuts to cut, copy, and paste files. Using keyboard shortcuts can dramatically speed up your ability to use your device. This is how I communicate quickly, and probably differs from what others should use.
Thanks, Charlie. I'm wondering even if like a recording of how you do that on your screen would be helpful for someone one day too, because it's a very awesome that you have those shortcuts. OCL's in the chat. He says, as awesome as it would be to respond and have conversations with people quickly in real time, that unfortunately isn't the reality of current eye gaze technology. Charlie and I have prepared most of our responses in advance, which is why we are able to respond so quickly. However, as technology continues to advance, the hope is that we will be able to communicate faster and faster to minimize the time of pauses when communicating. Thanks, OCL. And I'm wondering, as kind of a follow-up to that, if any of our panelists are able to share if they have any advice for someone, if they're looking to speed up how quickly they type with their eyes.
So there are many ways to do that. It's mostly software based, because the eye tracking itself is really just whatever it is. That speed can't be increased too much. But when it comes to software enhancements, there are many ways to have predictive phrases and predictive words and all sorts of shortcuts. Like Charlie has things what they call abbreviation expansion, where you can just go and type 1 or 2 letters and that inserts an entire phrase into what you're trying to say. So there are many, many tricks. They're mostly software based and they would require customizations, but most people can definitely speed up their ability to converse more quickly.
And in the chat, OCL says, most eye tracking devices should have a setting called keyboard dwell time, which can be adjusted so you can type at a speed you feel most comfortable with. In my personal experience, I have always typed the fastest dwell time possible, so I can try and minimize that time that it takes me to respond. However, despite me being great with technology, the reality is that this unique style of communication takes time and patience for the person living with ALS, as well as anyone they're communicating with.